So this week is St. Patrick's Day, and most people are drinking green beer or Jameson cocktails. But if you actually want to drink like the Irish do and not like a college kid on spring break, you make this, the Dingle Races. It's named after the famous horse race in Dingle, Ireland. It's a small, beautiful town on the southwest coast of Ireland, and they throw one hell of a horse race every single summer. And this cocktail is Irish gin and Italian Amaretto. And I know Italian liquor, in an Irish cocktail sounds weird, but it works because the botanical gin, the Dingle Gin, pairs well with that sweet Amaretto. And then you add a little citrus and a little bit of simple syrup and some bitters, and you have a drink that is actually pretty good. It's only a few, ingredients, but it's pretty sophisticated and super balanced. So in honor of St. Patrick's Day and drinking like the Irish, which I am like 1/64th Irish, let's make the Dingle Races. So we'll start with 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, 1/2 ounce of orange juice, 3/4 ounce of amaretto, 1.5 ounces of Dingle Gin, and 1 dash of Angostura bitters, and 1 dash of Angostura orange bitters. We will then whip shake this drink with ice and pour strained over fresh ice. And the garnish will be a spent lime shell and mint. And so with that, the Dingle Races comes together. So yeah, that is the Dingle Races. It's actually a drink that I've had a few times now. So typically, as you know, on this channel, I like to do either my own personal specs, drinks that I recommend, drinks I find interesting, or drinks that I've never had. This one fell into that latter category. I never had it before, but full transparency, when I was filming the close-up of this episode, my light kept dying, my Sony camera kept losing autofocus, which is weird because Sonys are notorious for having legendary autofocus, but that's a camera nerd thing. But I was cursed that night, so I had to try it, I think it was 3 times before I actually got that to where I wanted it. And by that point, it was like midnight, I didn't want to do it anymore. So this talking head is actually being done at a later date, full transparency. But I actually remade the drink a couple nights after that, and I dropped down the amaretto from 3/4 ounce to 1/3 ounce, and I kept everything else literally the same. I think I did a couple dashes of bitters of each, but that's so minuscule that it's not going to change it too much. And I loved it even more. I very, very much recommend using that spec of the drink rather than this one. This one's good, but what you're going to find, especially depending on the amaretto that you use, is that no matter how good the gin is, how fresh lime juice, how fresh the orange juice, you're gonna get just the aftertaste, those botanical notes of the gin, but then all you're gonna taste is amaretto. So dial back the amaretto, keep everything else basically the same and use that. You could do it side by side and let me know what you thought. But I think I know what you're gonna say, that bringing down the amaretto, just because it is so overpowering, is gonna make it better. But yeah, and it is St. Patrick's Day, or the day before St. Patrick's Day. At this point in my life, I don't typically celebrate St. Patrick's Day too often, just because it usually falls during the week, and well, I have a job like most people, so I can't be going into the office super hungover. I hate that when that happens. But that all being said, I hope you have a safe and wonderful St. Patrick's Day. If you liked this episode and what we talked about today, check out all my other episodes, and please, if you could, give the channel a like and a subscribe. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Akole Maluna. Sláinte. And enjoy. The last time I celebrated St. Patrick's Day, truly actually went out and celebrated St. Patrick's Day, was I think it was 18 years ago. Actually, no, I take that back. It was 13 years ago. But I don't really remember much of that night. I remember I got a black eye from our dog at the time, who weighed about 30 pounds. Because she was so happy to see us when we got home, she jumped up and headbutted me, and I got a black eye. But before that, it was St. Patrick's Day in Milwaukee, and it was 80 degrees that day, which is interesting because, or funny, or sad, if you still live in the Midwest, because you're getting pounded with snow over the past few days. And I think my buddies back in Wisconsin said they were gonna get 18 to 24 inches of snow. Currently in Las Vegas, it's 85 degrees, and it's gonna be almost 100 this week. So I'm very tempted to even turn on my pool and my solar and get that up to speed, because there's a non-zero chance I could be swimming this weekend. But it's weird to say that on St. Patrick's Day or St. Patrick's Day Eve. So again, stay safe out there, friends.